Hello, and welcome to the first time buyers class for the personal watercraft. Today we'll be talking about why the Yamaha is the better choice of personal watercraft, or PWC, for first time buyers. We will be discussing information about general ownership, specifications of two different types of PWCs, and my own personal experience with Yamahas and Sea-Doos. I'll be focusing the specifications on the 2016 Yamaha V1 compared to the 2016 Sea-Doo Spark. So first off, let me give you some general information about owning a PWC and what it entails. Maintenance. Just like anything else that has a motor, and especially something that is made to run in the water, maintenance is going to be a huge issue. So the ease of fixing and repairing damaged parts is extremely vital in your decision-making process of buying a PWC. The easier it is to access the engine compartment and cables, wires, anything like that that needs to be maintained will save you time and money in the long run. Also, you have to be aware of the end of season preparation, such as oil changes, spark plug changes, and preventative rust. Now, at the end of every year, you have to change these items, and the easier that it is, the less time it'll take you, which will give you more time out on the water. And then after every use of a PWC, you must flush out the entire system with clean water, and then again prevent rust from growing. So flushing out the system on a Yamaha is extremely easy, and it's one hose that plugs into it, and you start it up, run it, and it flushes it out. The Sea-Doo, however, takes a special adapter that you have to plug into the back, and therefore, again, takes more time. Also, preventative rust is extremely important in the integrity of your ski to make sure that nothing breaks next time you're out on the water. For a Yamaha, all you have to do is pop the seat off and spray all the metal down with some sort of rust preventative such as WD-40. Whereas the Sea-Doos, again, you just have to take the seat off. However, they have so much stuff, and the compartment where the engine is extremely small. Therefore, getting to all the metal pieces is almost impossible. So you're not exactly getting 100% of all the metal for rust preventative. So let me tell you a little bit about some specifications from a 2016 Yamaha V1 and a 2016 Sea-Doo Spark. All of this information from these specifications that I'll be giving you came off of YamahaWaveRunners.com. Horsepower. Of course, one of the first things we all want to know is how fast it will go. How much power does this ski have? So a Yamaha V1 comes standard with 110 horsepower, whereas a Spark only has 90 horsepower. So right off the bat, the Yamaha is already faster and a much better choice. And let's talk about the body. And the length of a Yamaha is 126.8 inches, whereas a Spark is only 110 inches. Now you may ask yourself, really, what does 16 inches, make a difference? Well, the difference is the Yamaha being 16 inches longer is going to be way more stable. So especially for first-time buyers and first-time riders of a PWC, stability is going to be huge, as well as it makes it to a three-person PWC, whereas the Spark is only a two-person rider. The fuel capacity of a Yamaha is 18.5 gallons, whereas the Spark is only 7.9 gallons. This is going to allow you to go for a much longer ride, enjoy your day much more without having to stop for fuel. And fuel out on the water is a lot more expensive than fuel on land. So with the Yamaha, you should only need to fill up once in the morning or right before you go out, and you should be fine all day depending on how much riding you do. Whereas the Sea-Doo Spark, you're going to have to fill up more times throughout the day on the water, or load your ski back up, drive it to a gas station, and then come back on the dock. And no one really wants to do that. So ease of ownership. We talked about the maintenance and preventative maintenance that is required for owning a PWC. So ease of ownership for a Yamaha is, quote, most reliable and low maintenance, whereas a Spark is, quote, more maintenance, removal of the deck for access. Now, what does that mean? Just like I was talking about with the rust preventative, the same thing with the spark and the removal of the deck for access. You have to remove all of these different pieces because they have such a small hole in order to, and they cram all of this stuff inside this small hole that the ease of access is not there. You have to remove parts just to gain access to different parts to repair them or maintain them. Graphics. Of course, you can have the best, fastest ski out on the water, but if it doesn't look cool, what's the point? So the Yamaha comes standard with its graphics package at its price, whereas the Spark, it just comes plain, and if you want graphics, you're going to have to pay an additional cost. Now let's talk price. The Yamaha V1 starts at $78.99, $7,899, whereas the Spark is $7,199. So you might ask yourself now, well, the Spark's $700 cheaper. Yes, it is. But for that $700, you're getting a much better and faster PWC. You're getting better graphics and way easier to maintain, which you'll make that money back in a heartbeat after you work on a PWC and you're struggling. If you do go with the $700 cheaper Sea-Doo, you're going to be busting your knuckles and spending more money on maintenance and repair. Whereas if you just spent that extra $700 up front and bought the Yamaha, then you're going to be saving a ton of money on the maintenance cost. So now that we know a little bit about what it takes to own a PWC, and you have some specifications on two different types of PWCs, let me give you one of my own personal experience. So I'm going to tell you just one of my many experiences that I have encountered over my years of owning a Yamaha and riding with other people that have Sea-Doos. In June 2016, we did the Destin Poker Run. I had 3 Yamahas and 4 Sea-Doos in my group. Within the first 10 minutes of the poker run, one Sea-Doo had already blew a hose off its radiator and lost all of its coolant. I had to tow him back to shore so that he could go back and get his trailer and pull his Sea-Doo out of the water. Then halfway through the poker run, a brand new Sea-Doo in our group lost all of its throttle capabilities. One of the cables came disconnected from inside of the ski and had to be towed back to the shore in order to reconnect the wire. Again, the Sea-Doo was towed by another Yamaha. And then at the very end of the poker run, heading back to the loading dock, after about 70 miles of riding, another Sea-Doo turned into a Sea-Poo. It would only turn on and run for about 10 minutes at a time, only run for about 10 seconds at a time, barely making it back to the loading dock. Once we got it loaded up, the owner of that Sea-Doo had to take it to the repair shop the very next day to get it fixed. So in just one day, 75% of the Sea-Doos broke down and had issues, while 100% of the Yamahas never had a single problem and even had to tow 2 Sea-Doos back to shore. So in conclusion, I hope I have persuaded you all of you new riders that are looking to buy a personal watercraft to go with Yamaha. I've clearly presented you with general information about owning a PWC, specifications about the 2016 Yamaha V1 and the 2016 Sea-Doo Spark, and I shared a personal experience of mine in which the Yamaha clearly outperformed the Sea-Doos. I hope you make the right decision when you go and buy your personal watercraft by getting a Yamaha over a Sea-Poo. Thank you.